rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.
Tonight from Olympic Park in East London, the 2025 SLB playoffs have arrived. The newly minted regular season champion London Lions look to defend their home arena. As the #1 seed, the Lions are a formidable squad that is playing some of their best ball of the season. However, in Lloyd Gardner and his Surrey 89ers, the Lions have struggled. Surrey took 4 wins off the champs this season and know what it's like to win in an intimidating environment that is the Copper Box. Surrey comes in with a healthy dose of respect for the Lions, but no fear. This evening from the capital city, it's the quarterfinal round of Super League basketball as London plays host to Surrey in the first of a 2-game matchup. And alongside John Hobbs, I am Todd Harris. Welcome to London. It is playoff basketball time, John. How excited are you?
I'm so excited. This is everyone's favorite time of the season. And what a way to tip it off between these two teams. Of course, there hasn't been an 8th seed that has had the upper hand over a #1 seed in British basketball folklore. But Surrey have that with a 4-3 record in all competitions.
All right, well, let's take a look at the standings as we kick things off tonight. Of course, London winning the inaugural SLB title, going 24-8 in this season, and they will be the #1 seed. They will be faced off against the 8th seed, the Surrey 89ers. But don't let that seeding fool you. This is a team, Surrey, that has been very good this year against the champs, going 4-3. Tonight we've got a full slate of basketball for you tonight as we kick off the playoffs, and we've got a quadruple header right out of the gate. Cheshire will take on Sheffield, London, Surrey, Bristol takes on the Leicester Riders, and then it's Newcastle taking on Manchester. And of course, Cheshire and Sheffield will play again on Sunday. There you see the slate for Monday. We are getting words that Cheshire and Sheffield, because of traffic delays for Sheffield getting into town, they are delayed by 1 hour. So everyone will go off at 19:30 as well. Well, it's all about playoff basketball here in the SLB as the teams get ready. 8 teams looking to climb the ladder to take home a crown that'll be taking place in the O2 Arena in a few weeks' time. Here's how it all goes down.
The most prestigious event in the British basketball diary and the culmination of the Super League basketball season. It's time for the playoffs. The top 8 teams from the regular season take part in a seeded knockout competition to determine who are the best ballers in the country. Franchises are seeded according to their final positions in the championship table. They must battle through 2-legged quarter-final and semi-final ties if they have any hope of booking a place at the grand finale in London at the O2 Arena on May the 18th. Let the games begin.
All right, John, this is an interesting format with aggregate scoring, so it really makes the point. Every point is worth a lot.
It certainly does, and this is going to be a very competitive series. In fact, the other quarterfinals are going to be incredibly competitive as well. And let's not forget, this is only going to be half-time once this game is said and done. And for this game especially, there is a Bank Holiday Monday treat in Guildford as we get ready for the semi-finals following on from this.
Yeah, Lloyd Gardner right now focusing all his attention on tonight here inside the Copper Box. Just a short time ago, I had a chance to visit with the head man for the Surrey 89ers. Coach, welcome to the playoffs. You have history with this team. You've played them 7 times. How much do you read into that record that you have against London coming into tonight's game?
Yeah, I think it means we don't fear the Lions, but at the same time, you know, the league leaders, they're the winners of the league for a reason. They're a great team, great individuals, great team, you know, great coaches. So, yeah, I think we're aware of the task that's ahead of ourselves, but like I said, without fear as well.
You've got 4 wins off them this year. What is the key to beating a London team, not only at Surrey, but beating it here at the Copper Box?
Yeah, I think the physicality is something that we've kind of looked at when we've played them. They're a bigger team than we are. So often they'll like to try and go to the inside, dominate the glass, you know, something we've struggled with. So yeah, probably the physicality, a big thing, I think, as well. You know, they're a great defensive team. So a little bit counter, but, you know, your offensive play is really, really important. You don't want to turn it over. You don't want to make mistakes on the offensive end, because that leads to easy baskets for them as well.
Is there one player on your team that you've got to get going early, and is there one player on their team that you've got to stop early and often?
No, I don't think so either way. I think, for us, we have key guys, but, the strength of our team is the depth. We've got the guys like Andrew Lawrence, Teo Ogundenbe coming in off the bench, the youngster in Nedas as well, and the same for them. They're a really deep team, so you stop one, somebody else is going to step up, I'm sure.
And John, while London may have the bigger players, I'll tell you what, Surrey has some ballers, some athletes, starting off with Jalen Ray.
Jalen Ray is an absolutely phenomenal player, a deadly three-point shooter. You see it on your screen there, averaging 17.5 points a game this season against the Lions. He's been a thorn in the side from the Capital, and a really great, versatile offensive player. That step-back three is absolute cash. And he's a lefty as well, so a really deadly weapon for the Surrey 89ers to have.
You talk about versatility, look no further than number 32, the big man, Dame Adelican.
One of the most effective players under the basket that I have seen all season, leads the league in rebounds both offensively and defensively, has 4 double-doubles against the London Lions this season, has been really effective and a really good shooter as well from the mid-range. Don't let that fool you as well. Really defensively can get it done as well.
Well, don't let the 8 seed fool you, or head coach Peter Bosic. Had a chance to talk to him prior to tonight's game, and here's what he said about the Surrey 89ers. Coach, you guys have played these guys 7 times. What's the key to beating Surrey?
It ain't gonna be easy, and it's definitely more things, but I think they're a great team. I think their record in the league doesn't reflect the pure quality. They have experience, they have skill level. They play great as a team. They showed that many times in this season. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but I think a lot of things we got to earn on defensive end. Firstly, being close any possible gaps and be close as possible. Make them maybe to go a little bit inside more than shooting threes, but we'll see.
Is there a situation where you would look to how this game plays out, knowing that such a quick turnaround to Monday afternoon?
I mean, this is just the first half of one very long game. The format this year is in a way that you have just 2 games and every possession counts, and we were trying to prepare ourselves for that type of mindset.
You got to feel pretty good with the momentum you guys have carried into. Obviously, you had that short losing streak, and then you snap things around. Momentum-wise, is this where you want your team to be playing right now?
Listen, we are in the most important part of the season after winning the league. I think this is we worked so hard for the whole season to be in this spot and play those games. So is it momentum or not? We'll see, but hopefully it is.
Well, Lloyd Gardner talked about the size of the London Lions. Look no further than 6'9" Jaden Dallaire. He's a big man, but he plays all over the court.
He certainly does, and this is a player that, again, has been a thorn in Surrey's side. He was the guy that took the game to OT with that corner pocket 3 on New Year's Day. You see his stats there against the Niners, 14 points, 6 boards. He is a problem in any stretch of the imagination and all types of the floor. He will be certainly a menace to Surrey tonight.
And let's talk about maybe the biggest pickup for the London Lions this year, Terrell 2 Holloway. He has been a revelation for this team.
He certainly has, and a guy out of Xavier, an Atlantic 10 Conference Player of the Year in 2011. He's hopped the world in terms of playing. He brings that veteran calmness to this London Lions team, and a really solid pickup that he joined in February.
Chicked in with 20 points and 5 boards the last meeting versus Surrey. As we take a look at the rosters and starting lineups tonight, they'll start things off with Cameron Gooden, Mervyn James, Josh Steele, Jay Ray, and Dame Adelican as well. And they've got a pretty good bench. Not going to go super deep, John, but a solid bench.
Yeah, certainly, and this is a starting 5 that Lloyd Gardner has trusted almost all season long. It's, as you would expect, but a really good bench led by Andrew Lawrence, an Olympian, and Jordan Hunt, Teo Ogundenbe, 11 seasons strong in Surrey, and of course Nedas Sholovinskas. What a revelation he's been this season. And
across the way for the homestanding London Lions, they will start things off with Jaden Dallaire, Michael Brisker, Aaron Rye, Alan Hadzibegovic, and of course Tyler Peterson. That's a solid team, but you want to talk about a strong bench. The London Lions have a deep bench.
Oh, absolutely. They certainly do. Tanner Stuckman, Tu Holloway, and of course that all-rounder in Eddie Adebayo and Kieran Sandy. Local boys that will want to bring the heat, or in this case, bring the white noise to the capital.
They are rocking the icy whites tonight, making a statement and making some white noise inside the Copper Box as the fans continue to make their way inside on a balmy afternoon here in East London. So we will see as the playoffs get underway. The officials are on the court and the teams exchanging pleasantries. And I guess the big question, John, will be which London team are we going to see? Because we saw them about a week or so against Leicester, and they came out guns blazing, absolutely blowing the Riders out in the first 5 minutes.
Well, it's like we said, at the top of the broadcast, these two teams actually match up together quite well. This is the first time that an 8 seed actually has a winning record over a 1 seed. So these two teams have played 7 times. The combined winning total on average has been just 7 points. So it's going to be a very closely fought battle here tonight. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to it, Todd. The crowd is amped. They're ready to go. There's a smattering of Surrey fans at the top. Let's get it done. This is it.
And with that, the 2025 SLB playoffs are off and running.
And it took 5 seconds for London to get their score on the board.
Can't get much better start than that as London comes out with Brisker getting the first bucket. Beautiful give and an easy dunk. Nice throw down there from the big man, David Delican.
I'll tell you, if this is the start we're going to have, we're in for a treat, Todd, I'll tell you.
This is going to be a 3-4 water bottle night, not only for the players, but for us, the announcers, as we are happy to be here in the Copper Box for the playoffs. Tonight, it'll be the London Lions, and they will face off with Surrey. But remember, we talked about this with both coaches. It is a quick turnaround. Monday afternoon, a bank holiday treat as Tyler Peterson banks it in as he gets low down in the blocks. This is a stats man dream right now. 100% shooting for both teams as Mervyn James steps back and knocks in that 12-footer.
And that's trademark Mervyn James. We've seen it all season. Mid-range jumper. He loves that midi.
Great matchup right here with Tyler Peterson. He's going head-to-head with Cameron Gooden. Hadzibegovic off the mark. Here come the 89ers looking to push it. If this gets into a track meet kind of game, up and down, quick pace, who do you like? Who has the advantage there?
Right now, I tell you, Surrey love to run and gun.
Yeah.
They love to play in the open floor, but so do London as well as Dallaire goes to the hoop.
Jaden Dallaire with a little stutter step, goes hard to that right hand and goes off the glass for 2. This is the proverbial track meet so far. Not even 2 minutes into the game, we are 6-4, and the shots are flying. That one off the mark. Brisker comes away with it. He's looking for white jerseys that are running. Josh Thielon and Brisker tries to cross him up. Hangs. Hadzibegovic was just way too close inside. Beautiful dump off.
And London love to go to Hadzibegovic early on. First few possessions, they've gone against it, but there you go. Hadzibegovic under the hoop, just how he likes it.
Feed. Ball knocked away. Dallaire comes. Look at him. Look at the big man run the floor, looking for someone to give it to. Thought about it. Gives it to Rye through his hands. Aaron Wright saves it. Plenty of time on the shot clock, just at 11. And if that goes, it's going to be a foul there. And they're going to call it on. See who they give that one to. Looks like it's going to be Cam Gooden.
Yeah. That's
not
smart,
in the act of shooting, though.
That's smart, though, from Michael Brisker. Not in the act of shooting, but looking to get those free throws early. But the referees thought that was just a little bit before.
Peterson on the wing goes right at Cameron Gooden hard. Big body on him. Can't get it to fall. Went off the glass. Couldn't get it. So advantage Cam Gooden. He goes 5'11", young man out of Frisco, Texas. And Peterson much bigger at 6'4".
You'd think it's a bit of a mismatch, wouldn't you? But it's not. He's a good defender.
J. Ray left open. Ball tipped around. David Delican doing what he does. Good rebound there. Can't get that one to drop. Hadzibegovic cleans it up for the Lions.
That'd be a great matchup, won't it? Delican and Hadzibegovic. the leading rebounder against one of the more physical players in the SLB.
Brisker double clutches and gets it to fall.
Of course, Michael Brisker was absent for a few weeks for London, but has come back and has really just reinvigorated this Lions team to a championship.
Sat out for nearly 3 weeks from April 4th to the 23rd with that injury. Josh Steele finds himself inside. Shot clock now under 5. Gooden's got to hurry. He's got to force this one up over Aaron Rye, who was right in his face. Peterson comes away with it, and here come the Lions looking to run. Mismatch somewhere on the court. Aaron Rye thought he had it. They'll go inside to Dallaire. Easy bucket for him.
And there was the mismatch, perfectly executed from the Lions. Hadzabegovic saw the switch, and there was the finish from Dallaire under the hoop.
12-4 after hitting their first 2 buckets. The 89ers have gone a bit cold, so they've got 2 players up and ready to come in Cholovinskis as well as Andrew Lawrence. A delicate goes right at the rim, and they're going to call the offensive block on Jade Dallaire.
And Surrey, after making their first 2, have gone on to miss their last 4 shots right now. So reinforcements coming in, Neda Cholovinskis and Andrew Lawrence. You know, a veteran player in Lawrence. As we see the replay as Delican drives strong to the basket. And of course, Neda Cholovinskis, who had an incredible February, shot nearly 57% from downtown in that month. A really, really promising 20-year-old player there for the 89ers.
So Dallaire called for the foul as he held his ground. Defensive blocking, David Delican White at him, and he only gets 1 of the 2, a 67% free throw shooter. So the score goes to 12-5 London. Looking for the trap. Brisker from 3. Buries it.
For Michael Brisker, he was left wide open. You don't want to leave a player like him wide open. 40% from downtown this season.
Nice jumper there on the baseline. Surrey needed that one a big-time way from Mervyn James, who played all 32 games in the regular season this year. Peterson, though, he hustles back. Good defensive help there, blocked by Delican. Lawrence wants to push it. Cholovinskis now on the wing. Dallaire has him. Brave young man drives right at Dallaire. They're going to get Hadzabegovic on the reach.
And again, you know, an incredible, fearless competitor, Neda Cholovinskis, that Lithuanian tenacity. You see it here on the replay. Takes no prisoners, goes right at Dallaire, knowing full well if he drives to the cup and gets the body, he's going to get the foul.
So I stand corrected. It's Jade Dallaire that picks up his 2nd foul, and Coach Bojas has to take him out. Nice problem to have as they sit Jade Dallaire. They bring in Tanner Stuckman, a young man out of Quincy, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. Started the season with Caledonia. 8 to 12 games in, he gets traded down here, and I talked to him before the game, and he was pretty excited to come to the capital city.
He was, and you know, he was actually in the air. He was flying to London when these 2 teams met on New Year's Day. He finalized his deal just after Christmas. So he was really looking forward to coming to London and being part of a championship caliber team.
Enjoyed his time at Caledonia, but he said his wife really likes being in London. I can't see why. There's hardly anything to do here.
What's wrong with East Kilbride?
It's a beautiful place. Beautiful place. Aaron Rye's been quiet so far. Brisker, does he heat up? Yes, he does. 2 for 2 from beyond the arc from Michael Brisker.
He was in rhythm. Quick catch and shoot in the corner pocket. Splash for Brisker. He's having a great first quarter right now.
As we saw in the last game when Brisker came away after that 3-week time, you do not want to let him get heated up. He and 2 Holloway are the microwave version here on the London Lions. 2 white jerseys collide to get the rebound. It's Aaron Rye. Head full of steam, driving. Head fake, up, in.
And I think Lloyd Gardner wants a timeout. That was trademark Aaron Rye, just accelerating to the hoop, almost in a straight line, just so direct, knew exactly what he wanted to do, and there was no help defense from the 89ers, and a wise timeout, because right now, this is a blowout for London, a blowout start, 20-8.
Yeah, they put up 20 points in the first 5 minutes and 43 seconds. Look at this. This is the head-to-head. Now, this is what we would call the championship or the regular season. They went 2 for 2, of course, that game on the first, going into overtime. and going the way of the London Lions. You talked about that, John, with Jay Dallaire hitting that pocket three. But I'll tell you what, it is London and Surrey has tasted victory here as you look at the trophy and the cup results.
Yeah, and you know, Surrey, the only team in the SLB to actually register more than one win over the London Lions here at the Copper Box this season. Surrey, the only team to do that.
Yeah.
And you know, as you said, they're not intimidated about playing in an environment like this. And you know, if you have a chance to come to the Copper Box, it's an incredibly loud venue. The fans are vocal, and it's white noise in terms of the playoffs for them.
You've traveled around a bit, obviously, around the league, and as far as Europe, this has a European feel to it, doesn't it? A FIBA European arena where the fans are pretty raucous, and they're almost right on top of you.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, and there's nothing like a game night here at the Copper Box. There really isn't. And when this place is full and it's rocking, and we've both been here when this venue is full, and of course, you know, London being in the Euro Cup last season,
right?
You know, it's a big venue to be in.
All right, back to action. Coming up on 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. It is all London. They have come out with an aggressive tenacity as Terrell Holloway has checked into the game. 0-0. Hansabegovic not called for the foul there. Lawrence lets a three fly. Comes nothing with iron there, and the ball taken away. Wow, and that looked like they were going to get it. Looks like Aaron Rye's going to pick up the foul. I thought they were going to give it to Jordan Hunt going over the back, but that is not the case. Aaron Rye picks it up.
That's a third team foul as well on London. Just one team foul for Surrey so far.
Tanner Stuckman checking into the game. Holloway. Peterson stays in. Aaron Rye defending the bucket, and it goes off his knee last. Stuckman falls to the ground. So 3:40 to play, 4.4 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time for Surrey to get up a quality shot.
And Surrey have started, even though they started making their first two shots, have really gone cold. 3 of 10 from the field thus far, and they really need to find some rhythm here as Cholovinskas to the cup.
Tough shot there. Cholovinskas gets it to drop the 6'5" wing. Great Britain national, parents Lithuanian. But this young man's got a bright, bright future.
Yeah, his parents wanted him to play basketball. He chose it, and he's not looked back.
Aaron Rye goes right at him, and no foul called, so the veteran going right at the youngster.
Yeah, just putting a bit of muscle with the hustle for Aaron Rye as he bumps his way in for two.
Ball knocked away. Peterson takes it into the hands of Rye once again, looking like a point guard. I told him these new white uniforms make him look fast. He gave me a bit of a smile as Jay Ray is going to be called for the foul on the reach-in.
And I love, along the baseline, London double-teaming Mervyn James, not letting him get that mid-range jumper off. And that's a really good thing, because 2 of the 3 field goals for Surrey have come from Mervyn James, and they've come from the mid-range. So it's a good move from London to double-team Mervyn James as he actually now comes out.
Mervyn James will take a seat. Brisker will pull the trigger 10 feet out, hard off the back heel, and up comes Cameron Gooding looking to run. Surrey's a different team with Gooden in there, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Dama Delicate takes it, but gets the ball knocked away. No foul there, and Aaron Rye races underneath. Gooden has to let him go.
And right now, London getting everything their own way in the open floor. And defensively, Surrey just need to be a little more aggressive.
This has all the hallmarks of a London Lions start. They'll come out aggressive, quick hands, and another steal. Here comes 2 Holloway. Stuckman for 3. Got it.
Everything is going London's way right now. You see Lloyd Gardner in a really frustrated look along the baseline. As Josh Steele, I think, is going to look to come in.
And Adi Adebayo is going to sub out Aaron Rye. So Rye plays the first 7 minutes plus, we'll call it 7:43. Jay Dallaire comes in. Hansabegovic gets his first rest of the game.
Right now, Surrey have used different lineups, one to be aggressive, one to have some shooters on there, and none of it has worked right now. Maybe go inside, look at the Delican, and try and get some muscle inside, get some points under the basket.
Steele. drives, floater, Stuckman, partial block, and they're going to call a foul. And they're going to give it to Michael Brisker. So Brisker, the scoreboard shows Stuckman, but I think they're going to change it.
I think they have changed it now.
Yeah.
And that'll be on Brisker, yeah. We'll
Yep.
see it on the replay. Steele was driving to the hoop, and you see as he went for the floater was caught on the wrist. And that's a rarity for Josh Steele. Normally a decent free throw shooter, but airballs is first. Yeah, airballs is first.
Certainly the London fans won't let them hear about that anymore, will they? Hits the second one long, so the first one way short, and the second one long. Josh Steele will try to find his range. 6'5", originally from Harlow, UK.
And I like that Surrey are going into a 2-3 zone here.
Yeah, they got to find some way with quick hands, knocked out of bounds by Andrew Lawrence, and will remain with London. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Right now, London are a perfect 3 of 3 from downtown. So hopefully this zone will just disrupt them a little bit.
Beautiful pass inside as the help D came over. And they will get Dave Adelican on the foul with Tanner Stuckman, but a beautiful pass.
Was a lovely pass from Brisker to find Stuckman. And it was good help side defense there from Adelican. Okay, it was a foul, but that's better from the 89ers.
The fact that they're recognizing the rotation and someone's getting there. Stuckman will step up to the line, knock down the first one. So we mentioned Tanner Stuckman coming over from Caledonia, 63% free throw shooter, 13.7 boards in his last game against Surrey, and that was in a loss just a few weeks ago on April 12th. Gets them both. So Lloyd Gardner and the Surrey 89ers still looking for the right formula as they have dug themselves into a 19-point hole, and another pass stolen to Holloway. Almost picked up that foot for a travel, but he's able to maintain and get the pass off before. Skip pass across the way to Brisker. Brisker loses the handle and he's going to get called for the carry.
And this is why having the zone defense has actually been beneficial right now in the last few defensive possessions for Surrey. And it has kind of disrupted London just a little bit, as you see in the replay. Brisker was caught in two minds, whether to go for the shot or whether to drive, or whether to pass, or whether to drive to the basket. So far, so good, though, for London, up 19.
Yeah, no question about it.
Let's not forget, this is only going to be halftime.
Right. Talk about the aggregate scoring, of course. Game number 2 in this opening matchup will take place on Monday afternoon, 1:30 London time, down in Guildford, Surrey Sportsplex. Beautiful drive there, going high off the glass. Good, can't get it to fall.
That's better, though, from Surrey, getting an open look, but need to make those.
Cam Gooden has played all 32 games for the 89ers this year during the championship. Adi Adebayo drives it, and he's going to leave the ball off his foot, rolls out of bounds.
That's veteran defense there from Andrew Lawrence, who loves playing here, actually. He got player of the game when these two teams met for the first time in the championship at the Copper Box. That was actually Surrey's first, well, that was actually London's first loss in 5 games. They won their first 5 games of the championship before Surrey came here.
Coach Bositz goes to his bench yet again. Kieran Sandy, the London product, checking into the game. Kind of an athletic defensive all-stopper. Speaking of defense, Adi Adebayo comes out of nowhere and introduces himself to Teo Odedengbi.
I'll tell you, Teo Odedengbi has made a living from that corner, hitting the 3, but Adi Adebayo, a fellow Londoner, was having none of it, as you saw on the replay.
Talk about athletes on the court. Adebayo certainly fits that bill. Good matchup here. James going right at Kieran Sandy on the step back. Can't get it to drop. Here comes Brisker and the Lions. 22 seconds here in the first quarter.
2 seconds separation between the shot clock and the game clock is Brisker.
At a 2-second shot clock, game clock differential. Brisker yo-yoing out the outside. They'll go inside to Stuckman. Stuckman goes up high.
And I love that pick and roll action between Brisker and Stuckman, getting the mismatch so that Stuckman can go inside. You see it here on the replay, switching so that Jalen Ray goes to Stuckman. Stuckman has that height advantage, but the help side defense came well from Mervyn James.
Shot clock is now off, 6.5 seconds for the Lions. They can play for the last shot. They go inside again to Stuckman. It's knocked away, 4 seconds, and this is going to have to be a hustle and heave. And they call it out of bounds with 0.8 seconds. So as hard as Cameron Gooden raced to get there, and he has got a quick first step, unable to bring it in.
He's got some speed with him, doesn't he? As we,
Sandy lets it fly, and that's going to come up just short. So the first quarter ends 29-10 in favor of the homestanding London Lions. They jump out to a massive 19-point lead, but as John Hobbs has pointed out, this game is really just the first half. Let's take a look at the stats so far. I'll tell you what, if this was a footy match, the possession era would certainly be in the favor of the London Lions.
Just 4 field goals for the Surrey 89ers in that first quarter. London, conversely, 71%. They're getting a lot of open looks in the open floor right now. They have been absolutely deadly. But Surrey, 0 of 6 from downtown. Just need to be a bit more patient on the offense and let the right shot come.
4 of 15 on field goals. And remember, Surrey got 2 of those in the first 30 seconds. So really not a great night of shooting in that first quarter. Let's take a look at the first quarter highlights, John. And as we said, you mentioned this right out of the gate. Buckets flying. Both teams hitting their first 2.
It was a great start to this game, wasn't it? There it was, a Delican, the dunk, the first points for Surrey. And as you said, they hit their first 2 field goals in the first 30 seconds or under a minute. And then since then have gone just 2 of 13 from the floor, whereas London have just thrived for the rest of the first period. And Brisker, especially with 10 points, has been absolutely unstoppable for the Lions. And just Mervyn James with the 4 points, all mid-range jumpers for Surrey.
That is the problem you face when you come into the Copper Box and you get a London Lions team that is playing with so much momentum at the end of the season. It's pick your poison night, because if you shut down someone like, let's say, you shut down Brisker or Dallaire, Hadzabegovic and Holloway step up. If you shut them down, Peterson might step up, Rye might go off on a night. So it's really a team that's so well balanced.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, let's make no mistake, it's not just for London, but Surrey have their ballers too. They just need to step up. Mervyn James has been okay so far, but hasn't shown anywhere near what he is capable of. Dame Delican under the hoop, a great matchup with Hadzabegovic, but right now he hasn't really been exploiting that. And let's not forget, you know, Cam Gooden, Neda Sholovinskas as well. They could put up points in a hurry. But right now, Surrey just need to be a bit more patient with their offense. Let the right shot come. But for London, it's a case of just keep going. Because right now, in the open floor, downtown, mid-range, everything is falling for them.
London Lions showing what they have as far as firepower coming off the bench. Of course, you bring in Michael Brisker, who's really had a 3-week break resting from injury. He's in there. Tu Holloway, veteran, comes into the game. And then you bring in the athletes, Adi Adebayo. Nice pass underneath, and they find their big man, Jordan Hunt, cutting. He gets the 2.
And that's the best thing to do out of into the second quarter. Find the perfect shot. Patient build-up play. Jordan Hunt under the basket.
Brisker left open again. This time his shot is short, and Hunt will come away with the defensive rebound. Here come the 89ers. Got to stop. Now they need a bucket. Ball poked away, and it's going to stay. It's
going to be a Lions ball.
Lions ball, yeah. I think Lloyd Gardner just heard the call. I thought it was, oh, they reversed it. There you go. Surrey gets the ball. Here it is.
I was going to say, let's look at the replay, and yeah, that's clearly a Surrey ball. But again, they're double-teaming Mervyn James whenever he gets to his mid-range shot. You know, kick it out. There's open players. Cam Gooden was open in the corner pocket.
Good, always looking to deal. Has his man left open on the corner, can't get it to fall as Jay Ray. Still looking to heat up.
Yeah, 0-3 right now, Jalen Ray now.
Holloway on Gooden, good matchup here. Turns to his right, fades, goes heel. Better keep an eye on this young man. He will go right at the bigs, and he goes at Stuckman, who holds his ground. Good defense by Tanner Stuckman. Adebayo drives, hangs too hard off the glass. Last touch by off the, looks like Surrey off the knee.
Yeah, you thought as you look at the replay here, as Adi Adebayo, great hang time, good body control, and Hadzabegovic, if he collected that, that should have been an easy 2 for him, but London keep it.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Brisker likes this shot, so he fires it. It goes up and over, out of bounds. And it'll be a Surrey ball. So Surrey has tightened up their defense, John, or London's just cooling off?
I think London are cooling off just a little bit, but Surrey's defense at the same time has been improved in this second period, but they just need to convert that into some scores.
Jalen Ray gives way to Gooden. Gooden lobs it on the inside. James has it. Double team coming. James down deep. Ball knocked out of bounds. And it's going to stay with Surrey.
Again, though, the double team on Mervyn James, and London are zeroing in on Mervyn James right now. The joint leading scorer in the SLB with 18 points a game alongside Mike Okaro of Newcastle.
Deep range 3 coming from Hunt. He can't get it to fall. Adebayo takes it. And here comes the long lead pass. Hadzabegovic down low, throws it down with authority.
Yeah, that was only going to happen one way, wasn't it? As soon as Hadzabegovic caught that, it was only going to be a field goal for him. And that's on Hadzabegovic.
Hadzabegovic. Yeah.
Well, Jordan Hunt is a very physical player, guy out of New Zealand, and almost had that all-black mentality as he was connecting there with Hadzabegovic.
So Brisker's going to take a break. Holloway stays in. Peterson, and I don't know. That's one of those 50-50 balls.
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue that one.
I'm staying out of that one.
There you go. Smart man. Mervyn James now. Look how far out there guarded him, almost mid-court. Hunt, Gooden, let's fly. Hard off the heel, goes right in the hands of James, who stutters, drives, hangs, and he's going to get fouled, and Adebayo goes down hard. I mean, that is 2 high-level ballers going at it midair.
Absolutely, but that was smart from Mervyn James. Once he saw a lane and he wasn't getting double-teamed, he was going to drive straight to the hoop, as you see on the replay, and he bumps into Adebayo as well. Or you'll feel that in the morning.
Yeah, that's bit of south of the border.
Hey, it's playoff time. Every little bit of intensity just goes up a notch, doesn't it?
Adebayo will take a seat after talking to Coach Bozic. But I love, as you said, the playoff mentality. Man coming down the lane, that's Detroit Pistons kind of ball. You come down the lane, you might get the harm.
Well, Surrey will need some bad boy basketball if they're to get back into this right now, and it's a really big deficit for them. But like we said, will sound like a broken record, but this only counts for half time. But Surrey really need to eat into this deficit.
And now you see some token three-quarter court defense come in as they apply the pressure, trying to slow London, because look how quickly London gets into that set. Excellent passing down low. Stuckman finds himself, and they're going to call the foul as Stuckman went up and takes the foul from Damon Delican.
I love the fact how London adjusted to that press and got into their offensive sets so quickly, so effectively, and that's just a testament to the teamwork of the London Lions. These guys know each other inside out, and substitutions coming in for Surrey.
So Jordan Hunt gets a real short breather. Josh Steele comes in for Teo, and they've got to sit Delican. He's got to take a seat as he picks up his second foul. 7:34 to play here in the first half. Inside the copper box, game number 1 of the quarterfinals here. It is London versus Surrey. Game 2 will take place on Monday afternoon, 1:30, down in Guildford.
Tanner Stuckman right now has a gentleman's 6 points. Call that 7.
There you go.
Quietly going about his business right now.
That's the guy that comes off the bench for Peter Bosic. So a nice problem to have for him. 33-14. Surrey's got to find some offense and find it quick. Look how far out London's extending that defense, just harassing. Peterson does a great job of getting to the grill of Jay Ray. He got a good look at it, couldn't get it to fall.
Now Surrey shooting around 20% from the field.
Holloway left to run free, gets it out to Aaron Rye outside. Peterson now feeds the big man. Hadzabegovic goes right at Hunt, spins to his left, gets inside, drops steps, and puts it off the glass.
Jordan Hunt, traditionally a really physical defender, but Hadzabegovic with great body control to turn and get to the hoop.
And there's the bump, and it would have been continuation if Jalen Ray could have got that to fall. I think this is going to be a good situation, John, as Jalen Ray will now go to the line. He's a 92% free throw shooter. For shooters, it's got to be a good thing just to see the ball go through the hoop.
Oh yeah, exactly, 1,000%. Just to get that breather, get some free points at the stripe, and who better than Jalen Ray? He's only missed 12 free throws this championship season in 147 attempts. And I do not believe in commentator curses.
There you go. And another good point to bring up with him, he has played 31 of the 32 games in the regular season, their championship. And so I look at guys on the list. You look at Mervyn James, he's played all 32. Cam Gooden's played all 32. Cholovinskas has played in all 32.
Well, it's amazing you say that as well, because they had some injury doubts back in February, and that's when Cholovinskas really came to the floor. So it speaks volumes that those core players, those key players, have stayed healthy.
35-16. Holloway had a good look at it, feeds it back out to Aaron Rye. Hadzabegovic with an offensive rebound. He's going to go right back at Hunt, kick it back to Jaden Dallaire. Pump fakes, drives the lane, hangs, comes up short. Josh Steele did a great job on the defense there, but he'll stay with London.
I was going to say that as well. Really good recovery from Josh Steele. He came in as part of a double team, and that left the player wide open, Jaden Dallaire. As you see on the replay, it left Jaden Dallaire wide open, but Jaden Dallaire just kind of hesitated instead of going for the shot. And London will keep it with a 14 on the clock.
Has to go deep to Peterson. Plenty of time on the shot clock at 10. Holloway into the big man. Alan Hadzabegovic got in too fast and actually drew the foul on Hunt. And I think Hunt was expecting him to take the first shot, and he decides to go dip up and under, and that's when the foul occurred.
Well, being honest, that's what I thought he was going to do as well. He got the step on Hunt. You see it on the replay here. He gets the step on Hunt on the spin, but just decides to fake when Hunt was nowhere near him.
So not a bad trade-off, though, for Surrey. As I was going to give the announcer jinx, Alan Hadzabegovic, one place he's lacking in his game, shooting 42% from the line. And if they're going to go deep into the playoffs or win it all, that could be an issue.
Well, yeah, and this is a guy that's taken 120 free throws in the championship season, has only made 50 of them. But there has been occasions when he has split the free throws, and in the playoffs, it seems to be no change.
Cam Gooden will take a seat. Andrew Lawrence back in for head coach Lloyd Gardner. 36-16, 20-point lead as London has settled into a nice rhythm, and Surrey's still looking for someone with a hot hand, or a combination of players with a hot hand. But you look how far out, John, London's extending that defense, even with their big man, Hadzabegovic, defending really well. Hunt comes away with an offensive rebound. Lawrence tees it up and hits the three.
And that's such a much-needed three, and that's the first three in 10 attempts for Surrey.
Slow start from behind the arc for the 89ers. Holloway drives the lane, can't get it to drop. Hunt has it. And now Surrey, 89ers looking to run. Ray pulls up off the front of the rim, but a nice offensive rebound from Andrew Lawrence. Lawrence, he'll pull the trigger on another one. Can't get it to fall, and Aaron Wright cleans it up, tapping into the hands of Peterson.
London, though, so quick to get back on defense. There was only 2 Surrey players there, so Aaron Wright had to take the shot.
Hadzabegovic, full head of steam. Josh Steele really not in a position to challenge that. Hadzabegovic now, you talk about a gentleman's 7. He's got a gentleman's 9 and getting some steal action too. Oh, would have been a little bit of a highlight reel had that gone down.
That was a bit of a broken transition play that nearly came out.
Lawrence, quick hands all over the court. And they're going to call Jaden Dallaire, and that's going to be number 3 for Dallaire. Of course, In SLB, you only get 5. This isn't the NBA where you get the courtesy 6.
He's going to have to come out. I think a timeout will be called anyway by Bozic. But yeah, Dallaire will have to check out for what probably will be the remainder of the second quarter. And that could favour Surrey in a sense as well. But you know, Dallaire has only had 4 points thus far, all coming in the first quarter, 2 of 4 from the field. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, 3 fouls on Dallaire, that's big.
So Jaden Dallaire will have to take a seat. We'll see who Coach Bozic replaces him with, but he's got lots of options out there. All right, John Hobbs, if you're the Surrey 89ers, you've got 4:45 to whittle away this lead. Where do you start if you're Lloyd Gardner?
Just be more patient on offense. Get some stops. Defensively, in the last few minutes, they've actually not been too bad, and that they've gotten their stops. They just need to convert that into field goals. Right now, Surrey are 6 of 26 from the floor. We speak about them making their first 2 shots within a minute, and then they faltered from there. It's just a case of just be a bit more patient. Look for the right shot. Don't rush into anything in transition. Don't rush into a quick 3. Go to the basket, get some easy scores. Go to the foul line. That's what Lloyd Gardner will want from his guys. Just be more composed. Because right now, you know, like we've said, there's 2 legs here. This game isn't the be-end-all and end-all of the series. But right now, if London go any further than this, then it might be game over.
Talking about the aggregate scoring. So if London blows out Surrey, let's say they win it by 20, 25 points, they head down there Monday knowing, you know what, all we have to do is, we don't lose by 24, we're golden.
Well, Surrey have won their 4 games by an average of only 5 points. They've been close encounters between these 2 teams.
It is playoff basketball here. It's Super League basketball. The inaugural season as the inaugural regular season champion London Lions looking to make a statement here in game number 1. And they're going to get a foul on Peterson as he bumps Jalen Ray. And they're going to send Ray to the line, yes.
And let's not forget with Surrey, is, you know, they've got that final pedigree as well. They got to the final of the SLB Cup this season. It ended with a loss to the Sheffield Sharks, but they have that mentality to get to the big dance. And right now, even though they're struggling, let's not count them out.
Ray steps up and sees the ball go through the hoop yet again. And they're going to need a bigger impact from him with 4:30 to play here in the first half. They're going to need a bigger showing for him from the get-go when they come out for the second half, now with 4 points.
This is a guy that's averaged around 17 points against London this season, around 40%, both from the field and from downtown. They need his offensive threat.
Aaron Rye back into the game. Rye, who got his 1,000th point just 2 weeks ago against Leicester. Brisker drives, ball taken away, hands flying everywhere, and that was an interesting exchange. And the officials stop it right off the bat and step in between.
Well, an unsportsmanlike foul has been called. As we see on the replay, it was great defense from Jalen Ray.
There's the strip.
It's on Jalen Ray for striking.
It was almost like a reaction swat, but I don't think he was taking a swing at him.
I think that's what the referees are saying. Well, that's what it looks like they're saying from up here. That's what they were looking at. But originally it was good defense from Jalen Ray, and that could have been a much-needed stop. But then, of course, you know, you've got to keep your composure at playoff time. I think they're just double-checking as to what's going on, actually.
All right, so they're going to... Here it is one more time. Right here. Yeah.
6 and 1, half a dozen of the other, we like to call that.
I don't think it was an aggressive taking a swing. I think he was swatting at the ball and made contact, so...
Jalen Ray will get foul shots as well,
Yeah. So Ray gets his 5th point. Coming from the charity stripe, he'll get one more. Gets them both. So that cuts it to a 15-point lead, which you may say, wow, it's still quite a lead, but it was over 20. So if they can get this thing, John, into single digits in going into half, that would be a huge accomplishment.
Oh, it will be. I mean, the biggest lead of the game for Lions has been 21 points. So to get it down to this, with how Surrey have been shooting, is a fantastic achievement. And like you said, Todd, just to get it to single figures will be really good. But London at the stripe, London actually one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the SLB, just 68%. But Brisker, a fairly decent foul shooter for the competition.
And Brisker gets the announcer jinx, courtesy of John Hobbs.
It doesn't exist, all right?
He's 88% free throw shooter until Mr. Hobbs speaks up and he drops to 50. So after the first quarter, it was London 29-10. Here we are with 4:06 to play in the first half, and it's 39-23. So 16-point lead for the homestanding Lions here in game number 1 of a 2-game matchup. Game 2 coming on Monday afternoon, and that's going to be a offensive illegal screen coming from Tanner Stuckman.
Yeah, moving screen from Tanner Stuckman. Referee Ed Udansky spotted that. And that's now foul. I think that's the first foul on Tanner Stuckman. Just looking there, just moving as he was using the screen there. Easy call to make.
Opportunity now with a stop for Surrey to cut into that lead. Ray garners the double team, kicks it over to Teo, who just checked back in the game. He drives and puts it off the glass. Big stride from Teo Odedengbe.
That's just 11 seasons of Surrey battle for Teo.
Pass a little low to Stuckman, tries to get it over. Kieran Sandy scoops it up. London product puts it in clean.
Patient build-up play from the Lions and a great finish under the hoop.
I think the harassing defense of London has been something. I don't know if Petr Bosic and his squad has turned up, but it seems like the last 3 weeks, this is a new-looking London Lion playoff basketball D.
It's one of the more aggressive 2-3 zones you'll see this season.
Wild shot there coming from Mervyn James. Normally he knocks that down, but he had a Kieran Sandy backpack draped all over him. Peterson inside, Stuckman, ball knocked away. Good hands there from Andrew Lawrence.
Yeah, good timing from Andrew Lawrence, because that was a big mismatch right there, and Tanner Stuckman was looking to take advantage, but that veteran know-how from Andrew Lawrence, perfect timing. You see it right here, just as he was going up, batted it away.
Aaron Rye was going to give it to Brisker, and Josh Steele stepped right into the passing lane. Steele on the drive, can't get it to fall. It would have been an and one situation. He'll go to the line. Remember Josh Steele's last foray to the free throw line, not so memorable for him, as he airballed the first one, went long on the second one. So we'll see if he can exercise the demons of the copper box here on these 2 attempts.
Absolutely. Well, he's a good free throw shooter normally, Josh Steele, but that was good build-up play from the Niners in transition. Good movement, and Josh Steele unlucky not to get that free throw to go.
He's got plenty of arc on his shot, almost too much.
He's a 71% foul shooter, like you said earlier, Todd, but right now 0 of 3. 0 of 4 now.
Yeah. So clearly this end of the court, not to Josh Steele's liking, as Surrey comes back with some three-quarter pressure.
Surrey 10 of 16 from the stripe as well.
Coming up on 2.5 to play here in the first half. Game number 1 of this quarterfinal, as Tyler Peterson looked like he wanted to throw a lob to his cutting big and just lost the handle, so went for the teardrop, a little too heavy. Good weaving through traffic. It's got to be mismatched somewhere. Brisker changes over, sees James on the drive. James thought about cocking it back and dunking it. Comes up short off the glass. Brisker now running the point for the Lions. He'll take the deep range 3. Can't hit it. Kieran Sandy offensive rebound. Seven seconds on the shot clock. Sandy goes inside to Stuckman. Stuckman tied up, and Kieran has to fire off a shot as the shot clock was winding down. Can't hit the rim as Surrey comes away with the board.
Yeah, good aggressive defense along the perimeter from Surrey.
James goes right at it, can't get it. One-on-one matchup, Aaron Rice steps across, and smart move by Cam Gooden as he commits the foul.
Yeah, and that'll be Cam Gooden's second, but he knew full well Aaron Rice driving to the hoop, that de-acceleration that he is so famous for in the open floor, and Cam Gooden wanted no piece of that, but instead decides to wrestle him into free throws.
I would say Aaron Rice is sneaky slow. He'll fool you into it. He looks fast in that white uniform, but he'll slow it down on you and mix up the pace.
That de-acceleration is so deadly, isn't it? We've seen it throughout his time in the UK, starting in the NBL with the Hemel Storm, led them to that perfect 41-0 across all competitions, and then dominated at Cheshire and is having fun here in the capital.
Boy, that Cheshire team last year was awfully good.
So much fun to watch.
Under 90 seconds to play here in the first half. All London, 43-25. The lead back up to 18. Nice pass inside. James has it. It's tangled up with Kieran Sandy. Wanted the and one, doesn't get it, but does come away with a bucket. And it's going to be a timeout on the court with 1:13 to play in the first half. Petar Bosic wants to discuss things just a little bit. Maybe he doesn't like the pace of play right now.
Yeah, and you know what, going back to that last bucket from Mervyn James, I like that, and that just shows the great versatility offensively of Mervyn James, because he's been really struggling in his signature mid-range game. He's been double-teamed a lot, so this time goes closer to the basket and looks for opportunity there, and one-on-one he's never going to miss under the hoop. And a wise timeout from Petar Bosic, just killing any momentum that Surrey will have.
The fans on their feet here on a balmy, and I'm talking balmy, London afternoon today, and the temperatures have been crazy warm here in the capital city.
It's been a lovely day, isn't it? And it's getting even hotter here at the box that rocks as Tahir Hadjet and Huncho stand, getting the fans on their feet.
Do you know if Tahir has copyrighted that yet?
Joe, I'm not sure. I'll need to ask him that.
Certainly he's got something going on there. Theboxthatrocks.com.
That'd be such a good website for the London Lions. You might have just given them a marketing ploy right there.
I'll take my cut. So we got 1:13 to play here in the first half. Does not look like Surrey's going to cut into this and get it down to single digits, but you talk about 2 stops and 2 good buckets. Bring this thing down and get it down to a manageable situation. Of course, we're obviously looking at aggregate scoring, so not that Surrey's already looking at Monday, John, but there's seriously, if there's going to be damage, limit the damage.
It's like you said, though, get it to around 10 points at the break, and right now, like you said again, just a couple of stops, a couple of scores, and it could be all to play for in the second half.
Teo with the quick hands knocks it out of bounds as Kieran Sandy was trying to get it in to Hadzibegovic. So 14 seconds on the shot clock, 1:03 to play here in the second quarter. Holloway has checked back in for the London Lions, as has Adi Adebayo. Cholovinskis in for the 89ers. Adebayo trying to get into Hadzibegovic, and looked like Hadzibegovic got tangled up there with Teo. No foul called. Aaron Rice had a very quiet first half, just 8 points for him, and he's looking to feed the big man because that opens things up for everyone else. Nice crossover, beautifully done. Can't finish, but a great crossover from Jalen Ray. Here come the Lions running, and the foul's going to be called as he gets sandwiched in between the 4 and 5 of Lawrence and James.
And going back to that last play for Jalen Ray, that mismatch with Hadzibegovic. Yeah, unfortunate not to get the drop with that, but that's what Surrey will like to have, a bit more of that, bit more mismatches, getting those pick and roll action, getting the extra players to go to the basket. But right now they just need their shots to drop, and right now Surrey 24% from the field in the first half, and you're not going to win games shooting that number.
Holloway steps up, normally a really good free throw shooter. This is not an announcer jinx, but he shoots 89% from the line, misses the first.
Are you sure that wasn't?
It was not. I waited till after he missed.
All right.
Didn't want to pull a John Hobbs.
I'll take your word for it.
There you go. He gets the second one. All right, final 40 seconds of the half. 44-27, London on top. Got to get a quality shot here if you're Surrey.
And there's the mismatch again.
Ray, Teo left wide open for three, gets it. Needed that in a big-time way as they cut it down to 14.
That's great patient, and that's what you want. Great patient build-up play, and Teo is a good three-point shooter.
To Holloway now, can milk it. Final 10 seconds. Holloway on Jay Ray. With the drive. 3 seconds. Aaron Rye's going to have to rush this. Drives the lane. Euro steps up. Can't get it to fall. And the ball is flipped up in the air and nothing will drop. So it will be a 44-30, 14-point lead. So you've got to say the second quarter belonged to Surrey. Of course, they were trailing by 19, John, after the first, and they trailed by 14 after the second.
Well, they were trailing by as many as 21 at one point, so Lloyd Garner will be very happy with that. A 14-point deficit.
Sure.
He probably would have wanted to get it to 10, but 14 is still very decent. Michael Brisker just 1 point in that second period. He has 11 overall. Mervyn James slowly getting into a little bit of a rhythm, but right there, that man, Jalen Ray, they need a bit more offensive work from him. But so far, you know, it's been a case of London got the best of the first quarter, but Surrey have just edged the second period, and it all stems to be a really good second half.
Lloyd Gardner getting his last words in to the officials as we take a look at the game stats. Here you go. Take a look at these numbers, John Hobbs. What jumps out at you other than a slight rebounding advantage? You see the assists 14-8 and steals 8-3. London showing their active hands.
And also Surrey getting to the foul line quite a bit as well. 10 of 16. They would have liked to have hit a few more of those. They're second in the SLB championship, 78% from the stripe. So they would have liked to get a few more of those, but they have 10 of their 30 points from the stripe. They just need to improve on their field goal percentage going into the third quarter.
All right, we've got a little trophy presentation to handle inside the Copper Box Arena. So right now, let's send it down to the Master of Ceremonies, Tahir Hajat, who will handle that.
Present the trophy and joining us. He's been sidelined by our Vice Surrey fan. Let's hear it for your London Lions, Obi Soccer! So, ladies and gentlemen, it gives us the greatest pleasure to hand over the 2025 regular season Super League basketball trophy to your London Lions.
So there is the trophy presentation. It was interesting when they clinched the trophy earlier against Leicester. They did not want to have that presentation, so they said, we'll wait and do it in the playoffs. And Len Ballin, general manager of the London Lions, coming out giving the trophy to Obi Soko, who's unable to play tonight. He has been out since March 23rd in a game against Surrey, and the word is he will not be back until the next round if London advances on. Well, coming up at the half, we will have a feature on the London Lions, number 21, Captain Aaron Rye, plus the 25 season promo as we get ready for the next season, and, of course, the plays of the week. All that coming up at the half. Halftime score here from the Copper Box. London 44, Surrey 30.
A new dawn rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League basketball. A new dawn is here.
I think I've kind of had that mindset of just, taking everything year by year, seeing how I feel about, what I want to do next year, kind of my future plans each year, and, take that in stride. And I think that's helped a lot. It takes a lot of pressure off you, I would say, just because, you're not thinking too far ahead and you're just kind of enjoying the moment, and then just letting that take you wherever it goes, and you end up finding where you need to be regardless. Yeah, I went to Dartmouth College. It's a small school in New Hampshire. Really great time I had there. You know, a lot of good friends I made. Yeah, my senior year at Dartmouth, I had a good year, and I decided, hey, you know, it would be a cool opportunity maybe to play 1 or 2 years overseas and just kind of see how that goes. And I don't think I was ready to give the game up at the time, and then, yeah, 1 year led to another, and here I am. Yeah, I was playing this summer in the CBL, so I wasn't in a rush to sign anywhere, and you know, just kind of evaluate opportunities. And you know, London seemed like it was going to be a good opportunity for now, and then you know, for the future. Hopefully, the club has ambitions to return to European competition, and you know, I'd love to see that in my career and see that as another step up from, you know, where I was last year or this year. So I think that I have a lot more to show, and I think I can play a lot better than I am and I have in Cheshire and now. And I think that, you know, as a player, the last thing you ever want to be doing is being satisfied with your performance, because I think that leads you to being complacent, and there's no room for growth then. So I think there's a lot more I can do, and I still have left to show. But it's you know, it's been great that I've been able to have, like, you know, some sort of success, but I don't think that's anywhere near my ceiling, and I think that I've got a lot of growth left, and I think that's what motivates me the most.
Hadzabegovic calling for it, collects, too strong, gets his own rebound, blocked by Adelican. Huge rejection from Dame Adelican, and Gooden at the other end. What a start from Surrey.
I tell you what a start. Humongous block denied at the ring by Adelican. Wow, not in my house.
Dame Adelican goes to ground, still is on the floor, and Rye picks up the loose change. Peterson, the lob, elevating and detonating is Alan Hadzabegovic.
Elevating and detonating indeed. What a dunk, what a pass.
Dallaire, an open Aaron Rye, no hesitation, knocks down the three.
Beautiful. Again, Dallaire really smart, little short roll there, didn't roll all the way to the basket.
Shot clock at 7. Kicks it out, Oging Dengby, they've got to do something. Oh, and there's the finish from Adelican.
When you know what you're getting from your player, you know, he rolls, he's probably one of the best rollers. So you just know where to put it. You know where he's going to be. It's awesome.
It's a good start, though, to this third quarter for the Lions. Surrey just picking up their rhythm a little bit. Here is Ray, shot clock at 8. Ray, a 3, money.
Tough one. They decided to go under on razor sharp Ray.
From the foul line is short, gets his own rebound, and a bit of English and gets it to go.
Wow. Little whirling dervish there. Take me to the circus, John. What a shot.
Gooden, a 3, splash.
That is tough. Little, what we call a little jab step there off the dribble. Knocks it down.
Lawrence Sholovinskas. Lawrence again. 7 to shoot for Surrey. Gooden feeling it, but loses the dribble. Lawrence got to put it up. Puts it in! Huge shot, Andrew Lawrence.
Wow.
18-point lead. Under 4 to play here at SSP. Gooden, mismatch with Stuckman. Oging Dengby along the baseline. Sholovinskas, a long 3. Splash! Oh, 19 years of age, and he points to the crowd. Neda Sholovinskas with a huge 3.
If you're good enough, you're good enough. It's just that simple.
Dallaire buries a 3, just like he did on New Year's Day from the same spot. Could we have a comeback?
Saw that movie before.
Holloway, time is ticking down though. Holloway, Dallaire, Rye, corner pocket, doesn't bury the three. And James, full head of steam, the exclamation point on the evening.
Rocks the rim. The crowd rocking as well.
Leicester and Sheffield inch closer as the title race takes a twist in Guildford. Huge win for Surrey.
A new dawn has risen in British hoops as Super League basketball has taken centre stage. But this is about more than basketball. This is where legends rise and rivalries are written. Every game is a battle, every moment is electric, and every fan is a part of the journey. It's time to stand tall as the future unfolds and Super League basketball gets set to be bigger and better than anything we've seen before. New season, new stories, new champions to be crowned. From the opening tip to the final buzzer, every second counts. Every shot matters. Nothing is given, everything is earned. So who will rise, who will dominate, and who will make history?
Okoro gets into the key through the contact, and Okoro will go to the line for a bonus free throw.
Great little hand. Can he finish it off?
Oh,
he can.
My.
Outrageous.
That was outrageous. Devere Ramsey.
Right, goes baseline. Right-handed, oh, almost went. Then Shelton gets the offensive board and the throwdown, hangs on the rim and earns a technical for his efforts.
Unbelievable work there from Duke Shelton.
Here's Hunt, Chulavinskas now. Inside to, oh my goodness, it's blocked by McCormack as Adelakun was going up for the dunk. And it's stolen away by Timberlake. Knicks in transition. Timberlake with a two-handed jam.
Wow, flying through the air. Timberlake there with that two-hand throwdown.
Mitchell swats it away. And DJ Mitchell racing back on defense. Gets down the court with a big block.
Big dunk incoming, no! Blocked by Adelakun, not in my house.
Not at the SSP.
Austin, right to the rim again, followed by Holden, who jams it in.
What a good follow from Cam. And he's talking his talk to the Newcastle bench.
Hunter's looking for options. Pass inside. That's nice to Johnson. Off the glass and in.
Unbelievable pass. His hang time was enough there, and good movement off the ball by Spencer Johnson, who lays it in.
Oh, what a throwdown. Delpesh is on fire at the moment in these two games versus Surrey.
I think he just wants to get on the top 10 plays.
And we welcome you back inside the Copper Box here in East London. Todd Harris alongside John Hobbs as the playoffs have arrived in Super League basketball. Game number one tonight, it's the London Lions leading it 44-30 at the half, but we've got a quadruple header of games going on as the playoffs kick off all across this great nation. And there are the scores. The Cheshire Phoenix out big on the Sheffield Sharks. London, there you see them with a 14-point advantage. It is Bristol trailing at home against the Leicester Riders. And, of course, a tight one there with Manchester, 4-point lead on Newcastle. So, you look at those scores, all these teams, I'm not saying they're looking forward to the next round, but obviously with an aggregate scoring situation, we're going to know a lot more on Monday.
We will know a lot more come Monday evening when all the games are wrapped up and the semi-final picture looks a bit clearer, but it's all to play for here in the third period here in the capital. An interesting statistic for you, Todd, is Surrey got it down to 14. That's a good thing, because since 2009, London Lions are 105-0 when leading by 15 points or more. So getting it down to 14 might be a good omen for Surrey.
You went deep into the stats locker on that one.
I tried.
You went deep. Here we go. Second half of play underway. London on top. They come back with a similar starting lineup, except Tanner Stuckman into the game as Peterson misses his shot but gets his own rebound, feeds it back to Aaron Rye, who goes up and under for 2.
And that's fantastic hustle from Tyler Peterson to give Aaron Rye that easy score.
We talked about it during the half. You and I were saying the first 2 to 3 minutes for Surrey are going to be critical.
They will be critical. They need to just get into a bit of a rhythm, but not like that.
Hello, ready for takeoff. Hadzi Begovic goes easy on the rim, and London comes out on a 4-0 run, which should have been really a 4-point swing.
Surrey just needs a score.
Up and under, beautiful shot there. Cam Gooden pays the price, but gets it in off the glass.
Just forget those last 2 possessions and just carry on. That's what Surrey need to do.
Peterson was able to get his own rebound. Then he gives it up to Aaron Rye, who gets a bucket underneath there. And then, of course, the steal coming. Peterson backpedaling, trips. Leaves a man open, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Surrey.
Yeah, that's wise from Aaron Rye, because, Surrey had the numbers, and it almost looked like Aaron Rye got a foot in there, but obviously it didn't come off his foot, went out of bounds, and it's Surrey ball.
Great feature at the half on Aaron Rye, who played his college ball in the State Ivy League. Interesting story, Dame Adelican, also a Dartmouth grad, played 2 years with Aaron Rye there at that fine institution of higher learning.
Certainly did, and Aaron Rye was actually the guy that encouraged Dame Adelican to come here to the UK and play ball, and Surrey fans will be thanking his lucky stars for that one.
Adelican finding a home at Surrey with the 89ers. Back to the action on the drive, switching over to the left hand with Jay Ray, and that was a really tough shot. Goes out of bounds, and it'll go into the possession of the London Lions.
You see Adelican and Rye actually fighting under the basket. They might be friends, but when the ball is up and it's playoff time, they're bitter enemies.
Steal on Rye. Peterson now takes the high screen. Good defense there coming from Good. Shot clock at 7. How far out London's offense is, goes inside, up and under. Aaron Rye wasn't quite ready for it. Takes a hot pass, and Aaron Rye says, Alan, take one step and dunk that. But I appreciate the unselfish play.
You say how far out they were, just how quick did that go inside and how easy it went inside as well. And Lloyd Garner will be kicking himself at that, and rightfully so, bringing Jordan Hunt back in to get that aggressive under the basket defensive mentality for the Niners.
Aaron Rye steps up, misses the first one, a 74% free throw shooter. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, John, the pace here seems to favor Surrey. The slow, methodical half-court set just seems to favor them right now. Or is London just basically saying, we'll take what you give us?
I think it's a case of London will take what is given, really, because both teams like to play in that open floor. But right now, London, you'd say, are the stronger half-court team at this time right now. But there is a lot of game time to go.
Well, until Surrey can find a hot hand or someone that can hit an outside three, it's going to be a struggle, and it's maybe Josh Steele. That is the reverse announcer's jinx as Steele steps up on cue as planned and buries a three, his first of the game.
And that was his first field goal attempt as well.
Hadzi Begovic drives the lane, knocked away by Hunt. Great defense from the 89ers. Good looking. Steele, he'll try for 2 and hit. 6-point run, back-to-back 3, and Peter Bosen says, I'm not going to watch this show anymore, intermission time.
And that all stemmed from that fantastic defensive stance from Jordan Hunt. That was a trademark Alen Hadzabegovic move. The fake, the wraparound, and then going on the spin to the basket. Jordan Hunt anticipating it perfectly, and then the other way, in rhythm. Josh Steele, back-to-back triples for him, and hey, Surrey are in a bit of a groove at the moment.
So you're saying there's a chance for Lloyd Gardner and his squad as they make the short trip up East London. Josh Steele, look at this, steps outside and calmly just drills this.
Josh Steele is a good three-point shooter. He's been like that throughout his career, a guy that started out with Barking Abbey, played under Lloyd Gardner with Barking Abbey and under the tutelage of James Veer, and still trains at Barking Abbey in the off-season with head coach Ricky Broadmoor, who's actually here tonight as well, cheering his former Barking Abbey teammates are on. There's a number of them, not just Josh Steele, but Adi Adebayo is one of them too.
Josh Steele, who averages 6 points and 4 rebounds a game, just hit his regular game average in the last 45 seconds. So we'll see if they turn to the hot hand of Josh Steele, and he continues to bury outside shots. You know London's going to make an adjustment as they bring Brisker in. Stuckman stays in. For Surrey, it's going to stay Jay Ray. Gooden's in there as well as Steele, Mervyn James, and the big man in the middle, Jordan Hunt.
That's a strong five London have got on the floor, but need to execute.
Aaron Rye left wide open. Can't make him pay. Steele, 2 threes and a rebound. Oh, and the foul there on Stuckman. I don't know why he fouled that far out. Full head of steam for a great shooter in Jalen Ray, and that'll send him, well, let's send him to the line. Regular foul, they're going to give it Stuckman.
They are going to give 2 shots, you know.
They're going to give him the 2.
Yeah. And I was just about to say with that as well, I thought that was actually a small foul from Tanner Stuckman. Just
yeah, he had a full head of steam. You're not stopping.
Yeah, only his second foul. That's only London's first team foul, but I stand corrected. It's a foul, it's free throws, and you've got a near 92% foul shooter for the season at the line.
Lions continue to try to plead their case, but decision has been made, and that sends Jalen Ray, the 6'2 guard out of Hampton, Virginia, to the line. Played his college ball in Hofstra, 92% from the line, buries the first.
He shot 46% from the field here alone at the Copper Box this season. But let's give it up for Surrey at the moment. Okay, they started with the first 2 field goals for London, but they've got it down to 9 points now when they trail by as many as 21.
At the end of the first quarter, it was London 29, Surrey 10. And here they are now after trailing at the half. By 14, they've got it down to 9. Michael Brisker now. Peterson takes the bump, gives it to Hadžibegović. He decides to send a 3 that way, and why not?
Hey, he can shoot them. He can shoot them from there.
Ray, mismatch drives, kicks it back out. James thought about the 3. He'll drive the lane. He goes up, ball knocked away. Here come the Lions. Aaron Rye knows exactly what to do. It dishes back into the hands of Ray. Thought he had a trailer. James up and can't get it to fall.
It's a strange sequence here.
Stuckman and a foul on Hadžibegović as he absolutely cleaned out Cam Gooden.
You had Jalen Ray attacking the hoop and deciding to pass out, and then you had Aaron Rye doing exactly the same when realistically they should have just both gone straight to the cup. Very baffling plays.
Yeah, little ratty ball there with 6:29 to play here in the third quarter. Here it is one more time. Yeah,
I mean, that wasn't the play I was talking about. That's just good defense. But
Andrew Lawrence checks into the game. Gooden takes a seat. 6:15 to play in the third. 10 seconds on the shot clock. You got a 52-40 ball game. That one off the mark. So this is a situation where it was 9, and now it's back to 12. London would love to strike here.
That's usually automatic for Ray as well, that step back mid-range.
Stuckman for 3. Gets it. And that's what London can do to you. Just when you think you got a little bit of hope, they go on a 6-0 run.
Now London in a groove.
Steele kicks it back out to Hunt. Ray swings it to Lawrence. Back to Ray, cuts to the line, nice spin move up and into the white jerseys, can't get it to fall. Stuckman comes away with it. Brisker for three. Nothing. Lawrence now. Hunt. Slowing it down, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Jalen Ray gets the double team, goes into Hunt. Easy shot for him, knocked away, can't get it to fall. They're getting the looks. They're getting the great looks. Andrew Lawrence on the other end with some fast hands goes out of bounds, and that'll stop play. So 5:03. You can't say that Surrey, John, is not getting good looks.
Absolutely, yeah, you can't say that, but you know, it almost feels like they're trying too hard offensively. Instead of getting the look that they want, they get the extra pass when the shot is right there. But you know, good defense there from, well, Delican there, good defense, getting that pass deflected, but it was good defense again from Lawrence, almost saving what could have been a certain 2-pointer for Hadzabegovic.
It is Cholovinskis checking back in for Surrey. Peterson to Rye. Rye thought about the three, kicks it back around the horn, back in the hands of Stuckman. He hit his last one, can't get that one to drop. Teo comes away with it for Surrey. Being harassed by Aaron Rye, and no foul called, no travel called. Cholovinskis gives a head fake drive, and they're going to call the travel.
I think Nedes Cholovinskis caught in two minds whether to go for the shot or attack the basket, and it got the better of him as we see the replay here of Teo and Aaron Rye.
Rye had his hand on top of the ball, just kind of held possession.
And I think that's why the referees didn't call the travel, because Rye had hands on it.
So Cholovinskis, great head fake, picked up his foot before the ball hit the ground, so the travel's called. 4:42 to play now in the third. 55-40. This is called be careful time if you're Surrey. You've got to come up with some stops. Do what you were doing about 2 minutes ago. Cannot let London go on another 6-9-0 run. Holloway steps into this one, buries it on cue. And this is what he does. He steps in. It's like the microwave. Doesn't take long for him to heat up. Cholovinskis drives the lane, no one there to protect the rim. Gets an easy two.
Yeah, that's beautiful from Cholovinskis. That quick step, that drop of speed, and then attacks the basket.
A 9-point lead has now ballooned back into 16 as London has taken control of it. Peterson gets it knocked out of bounds. He's the last one to touch it.
Yeah, Peterson nearly got caught in a straitjacket there and just saw two Surrey defenders and almost panicked and just dribbled the ball out of bounds. That's good defense, especially, well, that's good defense from Surrey.
Peterson acknowledges Coach Bosich, who did not like that play. Said, it's all good, yeah, I'll take it. Don't take me out.
Focus on the next play.
Yep. Teo drives the lane, goes up, finger roll. They're going to call the blocking. That's a bad sequence there, back to back for Tyler Peterson. Turnover, and then he gets called for the foul.
I like this though from Surrey, just attacking the basket, getting easy looks. Cholovinskis in the previous possession, then Teo Ogundengbe there going to the hoop, and he'll go to the foul line. And an interesting thing about Teo is when he started in the old British Basketball League with the Paws London Capital, he was around a 49% foul shooter and has really improved his game in that spell. And he was an 80% foul shooter this season, 67. You know, a really good testament to the dedication of Teo Ogundengbe, you know, improving his game by game and practice by practice.
It's one of two. So 3:40 to play in the third quarter. I want to remind you again, next game comes up between these two teams on Monday, bank holiday at 1:30 down in Guilford. That should be a great matchup. Depending on what happens here will determine with the aggregate scoring. Aaron Rye going up and under for a little circus. Wants to get a little taste of plays of the week.
Aaron Rye, I don't think he knew too much about that. He was attacking the basket, the pretty little up and under, and he gets that friendly fall.
Not about the elevation, about the English.
Oh, so nice. We see it twice. Well, that was pretty. Nice bit of English there, as you said, Todd.
And Rice steps up but can't complete the three-point play. Gooden back into the game. Great matchup there with Brisker, two speedsters in the league. Cholovinskis. Back to Gooden. Teo now on the wing. Trying to get it inside. Mervyn James matched up with Aaron Rye. Spins to his left, goes off the glass, gets it to fall.
Yeah, that's patient from Mervyn James, looking to get to his spot, not rushing, and makes it count.
And official timeout. They're not going to call a foul. And there'll be a substitution. Adebayo will come in for Aaron Rye. Look at this one more time. This is a great, you said, patience.
Yeah. Not rushing, looking to get to his spot. Knew there was an isolation, and then just got the elbow moved and got the two, created some space for himself.
Two Holloway matched up with Gooden. Brisker now on Lawrence. Brisker has to fall away with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Sweet fadeaway from Michael Brisker.
Well, that's just good defense, but better offense from Brisker. That was a pretty jumper.
That's a tip your hat to your defender, because he was right there, and a nice follow-up with Cameron Gooden, who buries a three.
Cam Gooden, only 5 points. He needs to step up. Maybe that three can ignite some offensive spark out of him.
Averaging 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists in 4 games during the championship versus London. To Holloway off the mark. Here comes Surrey. They got numbers. Drive up and under Cholovinskis, and they're going to call a foul. And Andrew Lawrence drove the lane and then dished off. They're going to call the blocking foul. Not a shooting situation, so it'll stay with Surrey. 19 seconds on the shot clock.
I like that, though, from Surrey. It was a good pass from Andrew Lawrence, and you could say, even though I don't think he knew too much about it, that was a smart foul from Tu Holloway, using that veteran know-how. As we see, Brisker, that turnaround off balance, that was pretty.
It was a good point, though. I mean, the defense couldn't coach up better defense than what he was seeing. It's just a great shot.
Yeah.
Cholovinskis on the inside, great defense from Brisker.
Almost looking for the same kind of offense there in that previous play, but Brisker's smart to it.
This is a really good, very athletic lineup for Coach Bosic. He's got Adebayo, who's just a straight-up athlete. You got Tu Holloway, who's just a veteran. Dallaire, Hadzibegovic, rim guarders, and then Michael Brisker. This one off the mark. Cholovinskis gets the rebound. Rather than going right back up with it, he kicks it back out. Fresh on the shot clock to 12. Jay Ray in some trouble. Teo. Cholovinskis left wide open. Can't get it to drop. Jay Dallaire collects it.
He's usually deadly from there, Cholovinskis.
90 seconds now in the third. Brisker.
Woo! Joe, I love how Michael Brisker is dictating the pace of this game. It's his pace right now, and we're all living in it.
And that's a pretty fast pace.
Yeah.
Talk about getting exposed. When he goes past you and there's no one there to help because he goes past the help. Gooden thought about it, 3 steps into a nice 12-footer and buries it.
Again, patient from Gooden, getting Adebayo, jumping for joy, and buries the elbow jumper.
64-50. It's a 14-point lead. Final 50 seconds here in the third. Brisker feeling it, deep range. Rattles it out. Mervyn James now goes through double defenders, and someone reached in and got a slap, and they didn't get just ball.
Yeah, Mervyn James not used to bringing the ball up like that. You can see why, but got bailed out with the whistle. And that's London in the penalty, and that's Jaden Dallaire's 4th foul as well.
So Jaden Dallaire is going to have to come out. Tanner Stuckman hops off the bench.
Only 4 points for Jaden Dallaire, all of those coming in the first period, and of course has been marred by foul trouble in this contest.
Do you think it's a bad matchup for Jaden and Surrey? Because last game he had 10 points and 5 rebounds, so he's not going off against Surrey as he does on some other teams. He just seems to struggle against the 89ers.
Well, I don't think he seems to struggle against the 89ers. He's averaged 14 and 6 against them this season. I think Surrey's aggression, I think, has got the best of him in this game, and I think that's the reason why he's been in foul trouble.
When I say struggle, of course, I'd love to have double figures average, but doesn't seem to be in rhythm, I guess I should say, when he plays Surrey. Adebayo, he was full bore going to the hole, and he's called for steps.
Yeah, now that's out of control for you, that play.
He's got so much athleticism. You watch him in warm-ups before the game, and he puts in some serious work with the coaching staff. Just needs some refinement.
Yeah, he's that glue player that every coach likes for London. AD Adebayo had 2 months out, played the final 4 games of the championship season, and has really, as said, been that player that can do everything that you don't see on the stats, and he's a good scorer as well.
Kieran Sandy now steps into the game. Final 12 seconds. Jalen Ray driving, and they're going to get Adebayo on the reach.
Surrey back at the line. That's a silly foul with 11.2 to go in the third. Especially with Jalen Ray heading to the strike.
Adebayo picks up his second. Kieran Sandy's going to come out and came in for defense. Stuckman comes in for offense. London's going to get 11 seconds to bring the ball up and get a last-second shot at this. And they want to close out the third with a little bit of momentum. Bosic always thinking about where he can squeeze out some extra points.
And for Surrey, like we said at the end of the second quarter, get it down to about 10 points. Right now, they're on course for that.
Right now with 9, looking for double digits here. Jalen Ray averaging 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Remember, 25 points and 7 assists last time against London. Well off that mark, and I'm sure there's been adjustments made for what he can do. Here we go, final 10 seconds of the third quarter. Holloway with 5. Double team coming. Aaron Rye with 3. Rye driving to his left, comes across the middle, lets it go, can't get it to drop. So the third quarter ends, and Surrey wasn't always pretty, John Hobbs, but they do whittle that lead down. Remember, they trailed by 14 at the half. They now trail by 10.
And they got their field goal percentage up as well in this third quarter. Still 33%, which really doesn't win you ball games. And at this rate, it's a case of you're down by 10. You've done it in a way, the ugly way.
Sure.
Just really get at it in this fourth quarter and narrow the deficit as we look at the stats. London, that's a fairly solid 48%, but they haven't shot the ball very well in this third period.
Right.
But lucky to be up by 10, because the way Surrey have been playing, it should really be double figures. Single figures, excuse me.
We'll see what happens on the adjustments, and it comes down to this fourth quarter. Obviously, Surrey, if they're going to lose, if they feel like, we don't have the juice to get this done, we talk about the aggregate scoring. It's important for them to get this lead down as close as possible.
As we look at the highlights from the third quarter, and F44 cleared for takeoff.
Begovic has been all over the court tonight. He's had a quiet 14 points, only picked up 2 fouls, and then it was the Josh Steele show. And if I'm Lloyd Gardner, I'm starting to maybe think maybe that's our guy.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But, there's been players that have stepped up here tonight. And Jalen Ray, here's an interesting statistic for you for Jalen Ray. 0 of 11 from the floor tonight. 10 of 10. All 10 of his points have come from the foul line. Mervyn James, 4 of 10, but has 12 points, 6 rebounds. So maybe Cam Gooden, maybe Josh Steele can step up. Josh Steele, at the moment, 2 for 2 from the field thus far. All of them 3-pointers.
Holloway with 4 points, just 1 foul. Talking about foul trouble right now for the London Lions. It's Jade Dallaire. He's got 4 with 4 points. And on the other side, you've got Dave Adelicum, who's got 3 fouls, but just 3 points.
Yeah, Dame Adelicum has those kind of spurts where he will go off for a double-double, not miss from the field, and then just quietly go about his business, not put many points on the board, but get big rebounds. They'll need him under the hood.
And there's a stoppage on the board. I don't think the 24 seconds started running. 24-second shot clock never got underway because 5 seconds are off as we're at 9:55 to play in the final period, and shot clock's still at 24. So they're going to need to take that 19 down to 19. Yeah. Look at John Hobbs got out his abacus real quick and did the math. Thank you for saving me.
I had to use my calculator on my phone for that.
Cam Gooden now crosses over. Mismatch coming. Here's Steele driving the lane. Hits the brakes. Gets it back out to Hunt. Big man on the outside as they run the weave. Jalen Ray gets the corner and turns it. Peterson just couldn't recover quick enough.
Using pretty much all but 2.7 seconds of the shot clock to get the perfect field goal attempt. That's great from Surrey.
Back to an 8-point lead. This is something that Surrey didn't taste until about midway through the third. Peterson drives the lane, loses it momentarily, but gets it back and gets it to fall.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Really tough play from Peterson, attacking the basket and getting that sweet two.
Power of the stash, as Tyler Peterson said, I just didn't know I could grow a mustache. Now that I've got it, it's going to let it run. Playoff stash. Ball poked away and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Lions. So it'll be 14 seconds on the shot clock. And Surrey with an opportunity here to get it back down to single digits.
That was good hands from Tu Holloway, because Jalen Ray had a clear lane to the hoop.
James going right at Hadžibegović, and he gets it to fall. How he found the angle, I do not know.
But again, going inside Mervyn James. The mid-range game has not worked for him tonight. So again, another field goal under the hoop.
A bit of a weave out top. London comes in, they find the mismatch, they find the shift, and Hadžibegović, a little hot pass, can't handle it off his knee.
You can see the offense that they were running there off the curl from Hadžibegović, but the pass was just a little too low for him. You see it here. Off that pick and roll, he curled around, but the pass was just a little too low for the 6'10" Hadžibegović.
At what point, if you're Surrey, John, you say, guys, we've got to find our range. Someone's got to start hitting some threes.
Jalen Ray's got to pick it up as well. That's a traveling violation.
Andrew Lawrence was pivoting, and it just a little too much movement on that pivot foot.
You know, if I'm Lloyd Gardner, even though we're behind, I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing right now. Again, you know, Surrey trail by as many as 21 points. And to get it down to single figures a number of times speaks volumes to the character of this team.
Holloway hanging in the air, and a beautiful 10-footer from Tu Holloway.
And that's Tu Holloway trademark, isn't it? Just going to the basket and then pulling up for that two, hanging in the air for good measure.
Hadžibegović trying for another steal. Stays with Surrey. James driving. And he's going to get bailed out. They're going to call a foul on Aaron Wright.
It's only going to be Rice's second foul as well.
Did see a lot of contact, and Aaron's a little bit perplexed on.
We see it here on the replay. James hanging. Didn't look like there was much there, you're right, Todd, but Ed Yadansky obviously seeing something that we didn't. Maybe actually the catch on the wrist there was the reason for the call.
So that'll send Mervyn James, a 88% free throw shooter, to the line. Iron Man, one of the Iron Men for the Surrey 89ers, played in all 32 championship games for Surrey. Came in this with a record of 12 and 20. I thought it was very telling what Coach Bosic told me before the game. Their record certainly does not reflect the quality of this team.
No, it doesn't. And that reflects on, you know, the caliber of the games that we've seen between the two teams this season. 7 games, Surrey leading it 4-3. And it's just been a very competitive series between these two teams. You know, Mervyn James has been absolutely fantastic throughout that. Joint leading scorer in the SLB with 18 points a game alongside Mike Okoro of Newcastle.
Back to an 8-point lead for London. Stutter step there from Holloway. Loses the handle, goes to Hadžibegović. He's feeling good from 3. Off the front, taken away easily by Mervyn James. Here come the 89ers. James driving, long striding, tries to get it down to Dama Delican. A little too hot. Aaron Rye comes away with it. Rye thinking about it, hangs. Holloway for three. Can't get it to fall. Steele comes away with it. Lawrence on a nice give and a nice piece of backspin from Mervyn James.
That's beautiful from James, again scoring inside. What a feed though from Andrew Lawrence, and we have ourselves a ball game, Todd.
The lead is now down to 6. Surrey starting to believe. Peterson goes high up and last, can't get it to fall into the hands of Aaron Rye. Tanner Stuckman steps into a 3, hard off the heel. Adelakam with another rebound. 6.5 minutes to play here in the copper box. David Delican takes the bump. No foul called. London comes away with it. Oh. Holloway tried to get it to Stuckman and had lulled Surrey a little bit into sleep, and wisely Andrew Lawrence able to deflect it away. Otherwise, that was an easy dunk for Tanner Stuckman. That's 12 years of court awareness there. Professional court awareness from Andrew Lawrence, and we've seen that all game long as Michael Brisker checks in for Peterson. So, another scoring threat, especially from the perimeter for London, which is what Peter Bozic is going for. Yep. So Brisker gives them that burst of speed. So now you've got Brisker and Holloway working together, and Brisker gets in the lane. No foul, no tip, goes out of bounds. Surrey ball. So this is an opportunity, 68-62. This is a clutch moment in the game, and I don't think I'm overselling it too much. If they can get a bucket here, a 2 or a 3, then you really send a message to London that, you know what, we're not playing around here.
Yeah.
We're coming here not for a close loss. We're coming here for the big win.
Exactly.
They brought it all the way back from 21 points down.
And a chance to make it potentially a one-possession game as well.
Steele.
Not like that.
Trying to get it into Delicum, and Steele's going to try to make up for that. Not before Hadzibegovic throws it down. And just what I was saying, be careful time with the ball. Hadzibegovic steps in front and gets the fans back into it.
And a potential momentum killer there from Hadzibegovic. Steele wanted no part of that.
Fans now back engaged. Steele takes the bump from Rye. He was going to drive to the lane, so smart foul on Aaron Rye. Oh, that was a tough one for Surrey.
3 fouls now on Rye, but we talk about Hadzibegovic getting his hands in and Josh Steele coming back. But Hadzibegovic, that was only going to end one way. So nice again, we see it again. Look at that, just oof. So quick up and down the floor, so mobile for someone that's 6'10".
Steele straight away. Takes the screen from Adelakam. Finds Ray coming across. Beautiful shot from Jay Ray, but that pass from Steele again as he's cutting across the middle, right into the teeth of the London defense.
Only his second field goal, but hey, if they're coming at a vital stage in the game, he won't care. He wants Surrey to get the W here.
Back to 6. Stuckman gives it right back to Holloway. Hadzibegovic calling for it. Gets it. Takes the swipe. Fades to his right. Buries the fadeaway.
There's nothing that Adelakam could do about that. That was just pretty from Hadzibegovic. That soft touch around the basket.
Teo. Steele. Steele thought about the 3, drives the lane. Up, under, gets it to fall.
A traveling violation.
Steps. Everyone held momentarily, and then the travel is called. So instead of an and one situation, which Surrey was hoping for there, it's a turnover. They come away with nothing. Jaden Dallaire now checking back into the game. Worth noting, with 4:39 to play, he'll be playing with 4 personal fouls.
And Surrey will look to zero in on Jaden Dallaire. Mind you, Jaden Dallaire only 4 points in this game so far, but still, a threat for this Lions team.
So it's Brisker and Holloway, Stuckman, Dallaire, and Rye. Aaron Rye for 3. Buries it.
That's a big, big shot from Aaron Rye. He now moves on to 16.
And answering right back is Cameron Gooden.
But the atmosphere just got sucked out of the copper box as soon as Gooden stroked that.
8-point ball game with 4 minutes to play here in quarterfinal number 1. Stuckman. Rye. 2 for 2. Not this time. Gooden now. 89ers with a chance. They can cut it to 5 with a 3. Gooden can't get that one to fall. Delican, though, he'll go up and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, Delican's been doing that all season long. Leader in offensive rebounds. That's rebound number 6 for him. As you see Teo Ogundengbe on the ground there.
Looks like he might have got cracked on the noggin. Delican will go to the line.
You see that from Gooden, just taking advantage of the mismatch.
Oh,
getting the 2 up.
Yeah, I think he got the elbow from his own teammate.
Teo's
67% free throw shooter.
But Teo's a tough guy. He'll play on. Hammersmith native.
There you go.
That London mentality.
Gets the second. 75-68. 7-point London lead. 3:35 to play in the ball game. Monday afternoon, 1:30 London time. Matchup. London will be looking for the big closeout. Aaron Rice stays with it, can't get it to fall. Teo grabs it, keeps it in play. Lawrence now. Waiting for the numbers. Teo drives the lane, finger roll. Oh, and point blank can't get it to drop. And Aaron Rice comes away with a defensive rebound. Oh, that was, right at the dish.
He had the step as well, did Teo.
Rye thought about a 3, hits the brakes, kicks it into Peterson, and they're calling a foul.
I think on Rye.
On Aaron Rye.
That'll be 4 on Rye. And that's great defense from Andrew Lawrence, the help side defense. Timed it absolutely perfectly. Aaron Rye didn't know what to do, and the offensive foul was called. We see it here.
A double team. He dribbled right into a double team.
Yeah. Great help from Andrew Lawrence, as you said, running right into trouble.
Tell you what, impressed with the Surrey 89ers, the 8th seed, get down by 21 points at the London Copper Box, and here they are with 2:53 to play, and they trail by 7 and the ball.
Less than 3 minutes to play, and hey, we've got another 4 quarters of this to go on a bank holiday Monday, and Surrey Sports Park is going to be rocking.
Well, tickets to the Surrey game just got a little bit harder.
Usually a full house at Surrey Sports Park. They are some loyal supporters.
So, Mr. Hobbs, you've got a decision to make.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to say, I was looking over at your
it.
notes, seeing if you had a little tip in your cap to an MVP.
Maybe a little too early right now.
Okay. You think someone's going to be a hero in the last 2:53?
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
If anything is to go by my previous visits to London,
I'm smelling what you're selling. You know, Surrey, someone from Surrey does something miraculous here in the last 2:53. That would, sway your vote.
Don't count out Surrey. They, okay, this is technically half-time, but they will be looking at this and they will want to win this game.
It's a good way to look at that, and you make a valid point there. This is halftime. This is literally 2 games. End of the first game is halftime. You got a second half to play, which happens to be 4 quarters.
And Surrey will be looking to their trip to Surrey Sports Park on Monday and looking to get the job done there. But London have got a very good record at Surrey Sports Park as well. They won there 84-80 in the championship.
That's overtime?
Yeah, that was the overtime win.
Back on January the 1st. November 26th, Surrey gets the win, 87-83. Then that January game that goes in overtime goes London's way. Then London wins March 23rd, 80-64. And, of course, Surrey winning the last contest on April 12th. Here we go. 2:45 to play in the ball game. London by 7. Teo drives on to Lair. Shot clock at 5. Ray. He'll drive the lane up and under. Hadzibegovic throws that down, and that's a shot clock violation.
And Alan Hadzibegovic, perfect timing, swatting that ball away. He's holding a block party, and everyone from the Niners is invited.
I think Jalen Ray thought, surely I got rid of that big guy from Montenegro. London now with the ball. To Holloway back into the game with Brisker, Peterson. So a 3-guard set, and Brisker showing off the speed. Little too much off the backboard, comes away. Surrey's got numbers. Hunt. Ray, Teo. Lawrence feeds it down low. Beautiful pass and finds Mervyn James on the baseline.
That's a beautiful pass. Lovely backdoor there. Mervyn James does the rest. That was pretty.
5-point lead. What was once 21 is now just 5.
And this is why I'm not picking player of the game just yet.
14-point lead for London at the half. They led it by 10 after 3, and that one rattles in and out. Hadzibegovic thought he was going to have an easy putback. Great defense as Mervyn James stays with it, knocks it out of bounds. So it'll be 12 seconds on the shot clock, 94 seconds to play in the ball game. Surrey's got to get a stop.
Yeah, they've got to get a stop. Absolutely. You sense that a 3-pointer for London could be a dagger.
Tyler Peterson back into the game. Brisker splits the defense, takes the foul. And Andrew Lawrence on the reach and's not going to argue that one. But they're going to give him continuation in 2 shots.
That's his second foul.
Brisker, an 88% free throw shooter. Did not play in that last London loss to Surrey. Sat out 3 weeks. April 4th to the 23rd with that injury, and here he is at the line.
And the only Lions player that takes more than 10 shots a game, and that just speaks volumes to the teamwork, the consistency of the Lions as we see the foul there on Brisker.
So Brisker hits them both to give the Lions a little more breathing room. The lead is 7. 1:27 to play in the ball game. James, Peterson guarded in close. On the switch now to Holloway. There's a mismatch there. Ball knocked out of bounds. Nope, James keeps it inbounds. Double team coming. Dishes it underneath. Jake Dallaire intercepts. Lloyd Gardner's looking for a timeout as soon as they get the ball back. Wants to talk things over. Coming up on 1 minute to play in the ball game. 7-point London lead. Peterson drives, puts it in for the Lions.
And that has to be that for this first leg, of course. Surrey will get a second bite of the cherry in Guildford, but that basket from Peterson looks to have settled it.
Are you calling dagger?
I'm calling dagger. 9-point advantage, 57.7 to go.
John,
here it is.
You look at that last 25 seconds for Surrey.
Yeah.
The turnover, the Peterson layup. Peterson's had a pretty quiet night tonight. He just picked up his 6 points. He only had 4 points before that bucket.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how many points you've got as long as you come through when it matters. And Tyler Peterson, he's done it before this season. He's done it here tonight. And a 9-point lead for London. And for Surrey, it's a case of get the margin down to as little as possible. And I think even with a 9-point advantage, it's all to play for in Guildford.
All right, so explain to the fans who may be not familiar with aggregate scoring, but if you live in England, how could you not be? Because that's what they do in soccer. Explain what this means. If the game ended right now, London 79, 89 or 70, what does that mean for London going forward and for Surrey?
Well, London have that 9-point advantage if it stays exactly as it is. London have that 9-point lead heading to Guildford. The game essentially starts at 0-0, but Lions will have a 9-point lead on aggregate. So Surrey will need to score 10 points will need to win by 10 points or more to advance to the semi-finals.
So for those of you scoring at home, if London goes to Surrey and loses the ball game by 8 points, they are still advancing on in the playoffs.
I think it might be time as well, Todd.
Here we go. Are you going to unveil the MVP?
I'll tell you what, there's been a number of great performances here tonight, but 66% from the floor, 7 boards, 6 assists, 2 blocks, 18 points. Alen Hadzabegovic is the MVP for tonight.
Look at this. Hustling and harassing in the backcourt is London, not giving Surrey a chance to bring it up in a free shot, and this is precious time slipping away. Ball knocked out of bounds. Right in front of the official. Coach Bozen said it was out. No call. Shot up. Jaden Dallaire cleans it up. And now 2 Holloway. Easy. Alen Hadzabegovic patting his resume from the vote of John Hobbs for MVP.
And that's 20 points for Hadzabegovic. He has been absolutely fantastic tonight. Mervyn James, let's not count him out as well. He has 20 points as well.
Jay Ray, deep range 3. So this is all about limiting the damage.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see a more sense of urgency for the 89ers. They not only had a chance to win this game or tie, but it seemed like with 94 seconds to play, they seemed like they had all the time in the world, there just didn't seem urgency, and then the turnover and then the 4-point swing.
Yeah, they did. And for Surrey, like you said, for Surrey right now, it's about making this a single-digit game going back to Guildford. That's what they need to do. That's what Lloyd Garner is going to focus on. The game here tonight is done. London have got the W. However, it's not over. And Surrey have done so well to get it back from 21 points now to 8 points. And maybe get it down to as little as 5, going into the second leg. And if that does happen, oh my goodness me, that's going to be an incredible second leg on a bank holiday Monday.
And what I do love about the aggregate scoring, John, is that London now can't just back off, let them have 3. You really got to defend that. You want to take as much of advantage you can down to the sports park.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. But for Petar Bozic, he won't be happy at the fact that London have squandered, such a big lead. Okay, it happened in the very early stages of the game, but they had a double-digit lead for the majority of the first half, if not all the first half, and then saw it dwindle down ever so slightly. And now in the fourth quarter, or the early stage of the fourth quarter, Surrey made their run, got it down to as little as 6 points. And for Surrey, I think it's game on.
Yeah.
Right now, it's game on. But, of course, London have the ball, and they can actually make this a double-digit game.
Yep. So 2 Holloway will inbound for the Lions. There'll be 14 seconds on the shot clock. They can run it all the way down if they want, or, as we talked about with aggregate scoring, get some more points. And that's what Peterson's going to do. Go right at the rim. They're going to wave this off.
Yeah, that's an offensive foul.
They are waving this off as Tyler Peterson's going to be called for the hook. And Peterson picks up his 4th, so wave the 2 off. Oh, yeah, that trailing hand just unintentionally got up into the face. It looked like of Andrew Lawrence right there. Wouldn't that be something if that bucket comes back to
haunt them? And like I said, Surrey could get this down to as little as 5 points. And if that would be the case, and that's what Lloyd Garner has got to go for in this timeout. He knows that the game is done, but set a play up for your 3-point shooters and get that deficit down to 5 going back to Guildford. That's got to be the game plan.
Well, the fans have stayed engaged here on a balmy evening in the capital city. No one has left with 11.6 seconds to play. As John has pointed out, there is no 8-point bucket in Super League basketball. So, but you can get 3. You could get 3 and 1. But they're going to try to get as much as they can, milk as much as they can out of this copper box.
I was just saying, what a crowd here tonight. They have been electric all night long. The majority of Lions fans in white noise, activated for the playoffs.
I never got your fashion sense. You like the icy white
I like
the Lions are playing in?
My question is, are they going to wear the same, if it's white noise throughout the playoffs, are they going to wear this in Guildford?
I don't know. Aaron Wright back into the game. Brisker Peterson stays on the court. James Dallaire and Alan Hadzibegovic, who's already been named the man of the match by John Hobbs with 11.6 seconds. It's all London on top by 8, but with aggregate scoring, this last possession could mean something serious for Surrey. Lawrence with the ball. Ray for 3. Gets it with 3.5 seconds to play. Jay Ray comes up big, just like John Hobbs and Lloyd Gardner dialed it up.
That's exactly what Lloyd Gardner drew up. You can see it. The patient build-up play. You get it to a 40% three-point shooter for the season. Okay, he has struggled here tonight, but you get that play up for him, and he will bury that. I tell you what, Todd, a 5-point deficit. If it stays like this, Guildford is going to be rocking. Just like it is right now here in the Copper Box.
All the fans on their feet here with 3.4 seconds to play in the ball game. London's got the win, but on aggregate scoring, they're looking to shut this thing down with a bucket. Now, if you're Surrey, if you're Lloyd Gardner, you telling you guys no foul, especially on a 3.
Yeah, no foul whatsoever. Just stay strong on defense. Don't commit. And just play solid defense. That's all you need to do for Surrey. For London, Peter Bozic will want a score on these final 3.4 seconds. He will be drawing up a play. Whether it's a 3 or a 2, he'll want as big a lead as possible going into Guildford.
I don't know if I've ever seen a fan base so engaged in a ball game when their squad is up by 5 with 3 seconds left and they have the ball.
Well, this is what SLB basketball is all about.
Here we go.
This is awesome.
Underway, the final 3.4 seconds. London looking to pad it. Holloway gets a good look, and there's a foul before the shot goes up. They immediately wave it off as the fans want. That would have been the world's longest continuation play had they given it to him.
That's a smart foul from Surrey. That's only their second team foul, so you can hear the boos ringing around. It's a good call, though, from the official.
1.9 seconds now. Rye. Hadzibegovic off his hands. So now, Surrey's got 1 second, another opportunity to score again.
Yeah. I mean, 1.1 seconds is a long time, but I mean, from full court, it'll take something incredibly special. However, stranger things have happened.
Ray lets it fly, no foul there, and the game is officially over. So that will wrap it up after 40 minutes of play inside the Copper Box. The Super League Basketball Round 1 playoffs off and running. London defends their home court. They get the win, but by 5 points. Remember, their lead was as much as 21, and we turn the page quickly. Our attention now goes to Guildford. Surrey's home court, Surrey Sport Park, Monday afternoon on a bank holiday, 1:30 London time. These same two teams, and on aggregate scoring, it is a +5 advantage to the London Lions. So Coach Bozic will be happy as his team makes their way to midcourt, as is tradition. They'll be happy with the win, but did they squander away a sizable lead? Remember, it was in double figures with under 3 minutes to play, and they end up winning the ball game by 5. So Aaron Rye talking to the team, and if I'm Surrey and Lloyd Gardner, I got to feel pretty good about what my squad did, because they certainly did not fold up and go home when they got down big. Let's take a look at the final stats in this ball game. 38% to 47 on field goals, 2 points, clearly in favor of the Lions. They go 24 of 43 from the three-point line. It took Surrey a while to heat up. They end up getting 8 three-pointers to London's 7. And then on the three-point line, identical, 71%. Rebounds also even. So this gives you an idea. London with 10 steals, 3 of them coming from their big man, who was the MVP of the game, Alan Hadzibegovic, who John Hoswell speaking with here momentarily. But wow, what a game as the London Lions prevail, and they get game number 1 of 2. So we can take a look at some of the highlights from this ball game. Remember, London hits their first 2 shots. Surrey hits both their first 2 shots. And we were off and running early. We talked about John and I how the second half would start off, and they would definitely need to have a good start. And it was London that came out and got a quick 4 points. But then it really started opening up. Good highlights, Surrey battling back. Jalen Ray off his normal performance, but he ends up on the night getting 20 points. Also, James kicking in 20 points as well. They did most of the damage for the 89ers. Across the way, it was Hadzibegovic getting the 20 chip for the Lions. 17 points for Brisker, 16 points for Aaron Ryan, 10 points for Tanner Stuckman. Remember, coming into this game, it was Surrey. Out of the 7 games that they played, they had the lead 4-3. So now 8 games have been played, 4-4. It's all even. The rubber match coming on Monday. We now send it down to John Hobbs, who's with the head coach of the Lions, Peter Bosic.
Pesa, congratulations on the win tonight. It was a tough one for you guys. You were up by as many as 21. What was happening in the second half for you guys?
I mean, we stopped playing on defensive end. We allow our opponent to score almost 50 points, 46 exact, which we didn't allow in the first half. So I feel that was the part where we didn't execute well.
Just talk about the character, though, of your team. You know, despite the adversity of being down to 5 points, you managed to get the win. Just talk about the character.
I mean, this is just first half. With the format that it is, there is no advantage in the way of like first seed, second, 8. You have the equal rights, 1 game home, 1 game away. And we were trying to prepare ourselves that this is the first half. So unfortunately we played, you know, just a little bit in this first half how we want. But all credit to the opponent as well. They did a great job. They have a great team. I emphasized that before the game. So now we got to be ready for the second half.
Thank you very much, Pesa. Congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you.
And Peter Bosic did tell me exactly that. Do not let their record or their seeding change your opinion of how good this team is. The 89ers came in at the 8th seed, a record of 12-20. But remember, 4 of those wins on the season came over the London Lions. Alen Hadzibegovic, though, the man of the match, goes for 20 points. And these 2 big steals that were absolutely momentum busters. The 6'10 center out of Montenegro, averaging 13 and 10 versus Surrey. But tonight, he goes for a big 20-piece against the 89ers. And he is standing by with John Hobbs.
Alan, congratulations on the win. A physical game against a strong Surrey side. What is it about this Surrey side that brings out that gritness within this London team?
They're not giving up. They're playing hard, physically. This is a 80 minutes game. We got 1 more. We got 40 more minutes at Surrey. So we got to stay focused on to that one. We had a good lead in the first half. We struggled in the second half defensively. Offensively, missed some easy layups. But yeah, we got to stay focused on the next one.
Talk about your game tonight. All game long, you were dialed in inside. You hit a few shots outside as well. Just talk about your game tonight.
I mean, I don't like to talk about my game. I'm just giving my best on the court. What I can do, what I can help the team with. That's all I'm doing.
Well, congratulations on tonight, and good luck for Monday.
Thank you.
And our thanks to Alen Hadzibegovic, the man of the match, MVP in tonight's matchup. Once again, it is London that gets the win, 81-76. Let's update you before we say goodnight. Cheshire holds on for the victory by 10 over Sheffield. There you see the London score. It is Bristol going down to defeat to the Leicester Riders. The Riders come out and put a 23-piece on the Flyers, and a nice matchup there with Newcastle getting a 7-point win on Manchester. Coming up on Sunday, it's a quick turnaround for the Sharks as they will welcome in the Cheshire Phoenix. And then on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, we've got a triple header for you. Surrey hosting the London Lions on a 5-point deficit. Leicester takes on Bristol, and of course Manchester will take on Newcastle to wrap up the evening. And then we will know who will be moving on to the semifinals. So we welcome you to SLB Playoffs 2025 as the trophy is unveiled for the inaugural winners of the regular season in the SLB, the London Lions. They defend their home court, the Copper Box, and they get the victory. Once again, the final score here in East London, it's London 81, Surrey 76. So for our entire hardworking crew here at the Copper Box and my partner John Hobbs, I'm Todd Harris saying good night from London. Once again, the Lions get the victory over Surrey. We'll see you Monday.
Where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League basketball, a new dawn is here.